superhero. I'm Sam Shelley, and they call me the Miracle Man. So, going live here on Sunday afternoon to talk about that there are no mistakes. So, like this page, subscribe to this channel, and we're going to do just a short talk on no mistakes today, led by a simple practice of meditation, because it's one thing for me to talk, and that's a very intellectual exercise, but it's another to actually have that experience. And the goal with each time I do this is to actually have you have this experience. So I was getting some questions yesterday because I did create a video yesterday like I normally do, and it was a really big question: are you afraid to be you? So I've done 700 videos now, and I never lost the audio track ever. So after 2 minutes or 2 minutes, 10 seconds, whatever it was in the comments, the audio went away. So to me it was like, oh, okay. I was giving my insights on why people are afraid to be themselves. But this is really about them learning to answer their own question for themselves. Are you afraid to be you? Because we get all these stories that really prevent us from being ourselves. So I wasn't meant to share those insights. It's about people reflecting on that deep question. Are you afraid to be you? And just sit with that and see what comes up for you. And that's what I think I'm going to do the meditation on today, is to help us dive into that question. Hi, Dowie. Thanks for joining. I'm seeing if anyone else is going to join here, but that's okay because this is being recorded. And we have to realize what I want to talk about today. There is absolutely no mistakes. If you think something is a mistake, then simply see it as feedback to try a different way. That nothing happens for no reason. There's a reason behind everything. And we might not be able to logic it out. There may be no logical reason for this. And we have to let go of like, why this, the mind chasing thoughts, trying to chase understanding, because that's not helpful. We want the mind to relax. Oh, hey, Sandra. Thanks for joining. Yes, today I'm just talking about no mistakes. So what I was talking about here, we want to be mindful of the mind constantly chasing thoughts with more thoughts. Why did this happen? Why this? Why this? How come this? It's all busyness. And we have to realize that everything is happening for reasons we cannot possibly understand. Like a cousin my age, was murdered. He was killed. There's no rhyme or reason for why that happened that the mind can understand. But I just have to trust that this was for his greater good, for his soul's growth in some way, some fashion that I don't understand. And maybe to help his family as well in some ways. And I just read about somebody on Facebook that her sister was recently murdered and she was only like 18 years old. There's no logical explanation that you can put for that. We just have to trust that there are reasons that we simply cannot understand. And sometimes we will get aha moments later in life why things did happen. Like when I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and lost the ability to walk, I had no idea. Oh, hi, Ran. Yeah, so when I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at the age of 37, I had no, I was thinking, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Because that's where my mindset was at that time. And that's where the mindset is for most people today, is why is this happening to me? And we want to change that around to see this is happening for my benefit. I don't understand why, but I simply trust that this is happening for my benefit. So there I am, age 37, 5 incurable diseases, can't walk, can barely see. I really couldn't do anything at that point in my life. But when I look back now, I can say, well, this was a great lesson for me. It forced me to discover, who am I really? I'm not these stories, I'm not these beliefs, these opinions, but who am I? I am perfect spirit, just as you are perfect spirit. And we forget this. It's the game the mind plays. We forget who we are, then we go lost into this tangent, that all these stories and all these things that don't serve us. We can learn to simply relax and trust our own insights, our own wisdom, our own intuition. Then we can create cures for anything. Nothing is impossible because everything as basic element is energy. And energy is not locked into one form. It's very fluid and things can change, but it requires that trust and belief and faith in ourselves. And that's a lot to ask for, to have this confidence in ourselves, because we're constantly being thrown things at us, saying we're not good enough, we're not worthy. We have all these experts out there telling us what's best for you. And this all comes back to the earlier question, that I was asking, where I lost the sound yesterday after 2 minutes, because I was diving into insights into that. And it wasn't for me to share, it was for you to discover. Are you afraid to be you? That's the big question you have to ask yourself. And where is that fear coming from? Oh, hey, Sabrina, thanks for joining. So this is what I'm talking about today is, there are no mistakes. And it's just, mistakes are simply feedback. But the big question we really need to ask ourselves, that nothing is happening to us, but we really have to see, are we afraid to be our true self? Are we so identified with our stories? I know I was very identified with my stories with MS. It was very easy to fall into that trap. Oh, I'm disabled. People open doors for me. People don't have any expectations for me. They're like, oh, he's sick. He's not reliable, whatever the stories will be. But it's very hard to get out of that set, when you're using a walker and people are opening doors for you, no expectations, are doing things for you. It's very easy to fall into that mindset. Oh, this is great. I can just sit back and everything will be done for me. But we don't learn, we don't grow from that. We have to see that, okay, I got MS. Why? It doesn't matter why. Okay, I got it. Now, how can I move beyond this to see that this will slow me down, to get me to discover who I am? And I think it's really why we have a lot of ailments, diseases, because we forget who we are. We're so wrapped up in the overwhelm, the stress, the stories, and it weakens the immune system. But once we relax, come back into balance, back into harmony, then life can change. Hi, Tammy. Good to see you here. So I really like I said, I don't like to take a lot of time for my talks because this is a very intellectual exercise. And I want everyone to know, to experience what is their truth, their way forward. Like I said, I shared this example before. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Adyashanti, but I saw Adya, who's my favorite spiritual teacher. If there's a favorite out there, I enjoy him the most. And there was another teacher up on stage, and you can see somebody that has the intellectual knowledge and somebody that has the experience, the depth of understanding. And that's what I want everyone to see. That depth of understanding is up to you to acquire, if you will, to let go of all this stuff, all this head trash, and really remember that you are perfect spirit. Everyone watching this is perfect spirit. Everyone you encounter is perfect spirit. It's simply the mind creating division, separation. Oh, I hate them. I dislike them. They're not good enough. All these stories is projecting head trash onto them. And likewise, they're projecting head trash at you. We just need to let all that go and realize that we're all doing our very best in this moment. It doesn't matter if it meets your expectations or not. This is their spiritual journey. This is their way forward. So let's do a little meditation, a practice today that there's no mistakes, but the real big question we want to ask ourselves, are you afraid to be you? Let's dive into this today. So there's no proper way to sit, to meditate. I prefer skilled relaxation, because we're letting go of any rules, any restrictions on how to sit, how to relax. I simply suggest closing your eyes to remove the external stimulations so you really can tune into you, the real you, that one perfect spirit, the place of peace, of contentment, of joy, of bliss, of unconditional love and acceptance. So we're just sitting here relaxing, allowing whatever happened an hour ago to fade away, to disappear. The last day, the last week, doesn't matter. No reason to drag the past into the present moment. The present moment is just beautiful the way it is. And we look over any future guessing what's going to happen an hour from now, a week, a month, a year. We let all that go as well. And we realize all of our power, all of our strength is right here in this moment. Anytime we're entertaining the thoughts, the stories, the beliefs, we're in a disempowered state. We could say we're in a state of victimhood, of blame, excuses. We're not here to be victims. We're here to be perfect spirit with infinite possibilities, infinite potentials. An awakening is simply remembering who you are and remembering that there's thousands and thousands of possibilities. When you're living from the mind, it's a place of separation and few choices. I can only do it this way or that way. Spirit will see there's thousands of ways to do one particular task. But we're just continuing to relax here. Keep diving into this peace. And we just gently pull ourselves back into this moment. When the mind gets busy, we don't judge, we don't criticize ourselves. We just come back to hearing this voice, feeling yourself sitting in a chair, the bed, laying down, whatever it may be. Just noticing where the body is. Engaging the sensations. What are you touching, feeling, seeing, hearing? But realize that you are not these sensations. You are the observer of the sensations through the body, and this body will fade away. But the energy of perfect spirit remains, was never born, never dies. You are that infinite. You are not the little me. You are perfect spirit. As we keep diving into this place, keep going deeper and deeper. Allow yourself to descend into your true self. We just keep diving deeper and deeper and deeper into this place of peace. And we want to simply ask ourselves a question. Why am I afraid to be the true expression of myself? Why are you afraid to be you? Unapologetically you. What comes up for you? Do you need approval? Do you need validation? Do you not want to disappoint? What comes up for you? There's no right or wrong answer, just your answer, your reflection. Now see this as a story, head trash. Do not allow this to define you. You are beyond the head trash. You're beyond these mental stories. We're not here to sit back, to be a wallflower. We're here to engage with life because we are life itself, with all possibilities, with all potentials. Feel the light within you shining brightly. And notice how the mind is constantly casting shadows onto your light, this dark night of the mind. We allow our light to shine bright where there's no shadows, where we can be the true expression of ourselves without the stories, without the fears, realizing their opinion of me does not matter, their belief of me does not matter. Am I happy with me? And if you're not happy with you, what's the story that you're taking as your truth? And why is that true? Just keep going deeper and deeper into you, into your perfect spirit. Realize you are connected to all that is because you are all that is. There is no separation. There is no division. We are the flow of energy. We are the grace, the bliss, the divine love. At our core, this is who we are, beyond definition, beyond labels, beyond limitations. We are abundant because we are one with all that is. Infinite resources are within us, infinite possibilities. Just reflect. Find a new way forward without judgment, without criticism. Realize life happens now in this moment, and each step we take creates a new way forward, a new destiny, if you will. That destiny is not fixed. It's based on each step that we're taking while we're in this moment. This moment will impact the next moment. We don't worry about 3, 4 steps down the road. We just focus on the next step. What's the next best step for you? Notice that we said for you. For you, this is your spiritual journey. You cannot control the journey of others. That there are no mistakes. You have your journey, they have their journey. Yet ultimately, it's one journey to perfect spirit. And we are that. So we want to come back to this body in this moment and gently open our eyes when the time feels right. No rush, no hurry, as we just come back. So maybe we want to stretch our arms, realize I'm alive, thank you, I can do all things. And just coming back into this body to realize that we are spiritual beings, having a spiritual experience within the human body. And someday we'll go back to spiritual beings having spiritual experiences without the human body. Maybe as angels, spirit guides, helping our friends and loved ones when we're not in body. There's no rules. No one's up there judging you, condemning you, insisting that you do things a certain way. We're just here to be us, to the best of our ability. So I'm here if there's any questions, or maybe you just want to bask in the peace that is always here in this moment. But we want to keep easing back into this moment. No rush, no hurry. But realize the answer is within you. Hello, Kathy. How is everyone today? Where is the mind tripping you up? What are the mental stories that are not serving you? Who is preventing you from being you? I have a question. What do I need to focus on at this time? To be present, and then act from that place of presence. Allow the next step to come, to arise. Let me pull something else here too. I do have this nearby as well. If I get the Shaman's deck. Let me just pull one card here, see what it has to say. Yep, the Initiation card. Initiation is taking action from this deeper place. So it's about learning to be present, allow the next step to rise, then take action on that wisdom and realize this voice will come first. This voice will come second, this mental voice, trying to prevent you from doing this action because the mind doesn't want to give up control. So it's really about taking the right action in this moment based on your own knowing. And we need to let go of the need to figure things out. That's just mind busyness. Just allow the process to unfold within you because you know what's best for you. This deeper place that knows. This is our thinker. This is the knower. We always want to act from the knower. All right. Oh, Sabrina, sorry to hear that on the 14th. Yes, that's it, Dowie. Yeah. So let me go back to Sabrina real quick and I'll go into Dowie's comment. So yeah, passed on the 14th. What would your mom want to know? What does your mom want you to know? That's setting the intention for that. Okay, for Sabrina. The honor card, honoring yourself, honoring your boundaries, appreciating yourself. That's the word I'm getting from her. Just in a sense of appreciation, just appreciate yourself, honor yourself, respect yourself. Don't allow others to make you small. But see, okay, so let me put this comment by Dell because this is an interesting discussion here. We can do this. It's very easy to see the positive side of the good things that happen to us. But see right there, the positive side of the good things. That's the judgment. That's coming from the mind. That's very conditional. What you see as positive and good, somebody right next to you will see the opposite. Oh, that's bad. That's not a good thing. So it's all subjective. And we just have to realize that it's just the experience that we're having here. If it's not a desirable experience, what is the step that I can do to change that direction? Let me see if there's any other comments here. Okay, so interesting here from Kathy's asking, this is very accurate. Yeah, Clarence, thank you for the compliment. So Kathy, this is a very accurate recurring message. One more. What does this have to do with Kevin? What action should I take? Well, you really need to tune in and see what's going for Kevin, but perhaps you don't have that clarity because it is a practice to learn to trust yourself, to rebuild that confidence and faith in ourselves, to know what actions we need to take. Um, okay, so I pulled the strength card in regards to Kevin. So, what actions are you taking that make yourself appear weak in his eyes? Where do you not have confidence when interfacing with Kevin? How can you stay in your strength, your power, and stay with your words, with your actions? That's what's coming for me, for Kathy. And that's a tough one for everyone, to stay in our strength. We've been taught all these stories that make us weak. We need to let all that go and realize the strength that is always within us and always acting from the place of power. This is power. The mind's always trying to place force. I got to force my way. I got to force. No, there's simple, like a humble confidence that comes, that knows that you're doing your best. You're speaking your truth. And they can take it or leave it, frankly. Okay, okay, Rowena, I'll come back to that in a second. Okay, right there, Rowena. Let me go into Dalby's here. This is another good point of discussion. We wanted to see the positive outcome of a recent negative situation right away. Once again, notice how the mind is judging and criticizing this experience. We just need to see that it's simply an experience. And it's basically retraining the mind to stop looking at things as negative and positive. It's really the current experience. And this experience is fleeting. It's here one moment, gone the next. And that's our happiness too. It's here, it's 1 second, it's gone the next. Because we're up in the mind's in this emotional roller coaster. If we just get down to the depths of the ocean of perfect spirit, then we can see, okay, what is the next action for me to take? And that's how we improve our life, is by acting from this deeper place. Acting from perfect spirit is how we improve our life. All right, let me go back to this. So Rowena is asking what she needs to know. So when I say, first time I'd love a message, it's really like, all right, what does spirit need her to know? Her perfect spirit. So let me pull one card here from the Shaman's deck. Just doing one card pulls, that's enough. And let's tune into her. Rowena, you're getting the journeyer card. The journeyer is the mind's always on the journey, thinking the answer's out there someplace. If I read this book, watch this video, listen to this person, I'm going to find the answer out there someplace. And they just want to remind you the answer is always within you. Can you take the time to just relax and see what feels right to you? And it's more of a sense of a feeling. What feels right to you? And trust that is your truth. And that's all that matters. You don't need validation from outside sources to prove yourself. You just need to trust that inner voice within you. Okay. Any kind of questions I can answer for anyone? Any kind of tips? And I'm here every Sunday at noon. And then I'm doing my next healing circle. That is on the 4th, August 4th. And that's donation on there. I'm basically helping you remind you who your truth is, but in a longer session that, yeah. All right, Stacy. Let's see what she's saying here. Extreme. All right, perfect, Stacy. Yes. And I want to go back to Rowena real quick here because this is another thing that I want to talk about too. When people say work, I have a thing about work. Okay, but yeah, it's really you want to change the word work to practice. That's what Stacy's saying. It's not work. What are all the stories that you have related to work? That's hard. It's difficult. It requires this, that, has all these rules, all these restrictions. But simply, as Stacy said, it's a practice. There goes the mind thinking again. You don't judge. You don't criticize. You just come back to here. It's not work. It's just coming back to this moment. So if you're under like extreme vertigo and feeling off balance, that's an indication you're too up in the head, trying to figure things out, trying to understand. The hardest place for the mind to be is a place of not knowing. Not knowing is actually the perfect place you want to be because it requires you to go within to the knower to actually understand what's going on, if that makes sense. So for Stacy, just listening to yourself, what is the best grounding practice for you? What is the best practice for you to recenter yourself? Only you know the answer. So we want to let go of anything that causes busyness in the mind, positive, negative, good, bad, figuring things out, trying to understand. And this is a work in progress for everyone. If you're in the human body, no one's perfectly 100% in their truth. Yeah, I can get myself back quicker, but the mind will grab me once in a while and lead me into the weeds. But with the practice, I can come back very quickly. Oh, there goes the mind again. Where are my feet? And come back to this moment. Hey, Natalie, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a little while. Hope you've been well. So while Natalie's here, I'm going to pull one card here for Natalie and see what she needs to know. I'm getting the courage card for Natalie. When I see the courage, we only need courage when the mind's filled with fear. So courage is simply the mind doing what the mind does, overthink things, but just about having that confidence and trust with yourself. And now I want to pull a card for Dalwy. I don't think I'll pull a card for Dalwy. The vision card. It's real trusting your insights. When I see the vision, I'm thinking trust in your insights and realize you are the creator of your reality. So set the intent and let go of how it's going to happen. That's hard for the mind. Yeah, I like to use one card pools when I can dive in and explain what they mean. We don't need to pull lots and lots of cards. We can at times, but when I'm in this space, it's really easy. And I don't even need cards. I can just tune in. There's not too many people here, like on a Monday night. It's just too much. It's too much for me to focus in very quickly. So anybody else need a message or clarity about anything before I head off for today? And I'll be live tomorrow on Soul Messages around 8:30, somewhere between there. But I would say, you're probably better off coming on at 8:15 or 8:30 after we start, maybe 10, 15 minutes after we start, then you're most likely going to get a message. When we just start and we get flooded literally with 15 to 20 messages within a minute, we can't ensure that everyone gets a message. But if you come a little bit later, 5 minutes, 10 minutes down the line, then we can get a message there. Yeah, Sabrina, I understand. Yeah, you want to keep her safe. You want to keep her protected. So for Sabrina, let's see what Spirit has to say on that. So let me pull this card here. Let's see. Oh, interesting. You're getting ancestor memory. So it's a message from a past loved one. And they're just reminding you that every parent goes through this separation anxiety, that they're going to be safe, that they're going to be okay, that you can't look over them. So this love, let me see who's coming in. I'm feeling an uncle energy. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a past uncle is the best way I can describe the way he feels to me. He's just reminding this is something that every parent goes through, every parent struggles with, but it's going to be okay. We have to let them fly. I just see him opening his hands and like releasing. We have to release them. We have to trust them that this is their journey. Oh, hello, Kat. Good to see you today. So, yeah, if you want to really dive into a long session with me, then it will be on the 4th, and tomorrow I'll be doing soul messages. So first, let me pull a card here for Kat. Then I'll pull one for Stacy. Let me just see what Kat's feeling for Kat today. I got this before too, the initiation card, which is about taking action from this deeper place, taking the right action from here. Reading the mind will probably lead you astray into guessing what is the best way forward. Just remind you to get quiet, tune into you. What is the best step for you without the need to prove and validate yourself? Just realize that this is your journey, this is your way. And for Stacy, what's going on for Stacy? Let's see. Let's see what Stacy is. Yeah, I got this card here for Stacy. Stacy. Oh, interesting, Stacy. You're getting the lies card. It's telling me you're believing the mind too much. You're believing the stories and the stories from other people. It almost feels like you're in overwhelm, trying to sort out the truth. That's the expression I'm getting. You're trying to sort out the truth and it's overwhelming. Realize you have a built-in truth detector right here, your heart. What does your heart say on the situation? This is our lie detector. What's your truth? The mind's always living in relative truth from the mind's perspective, but the ultimate truth is within you. All right. Any more questions before I head off for today? But I'll be live tomorrow with Lori, 8:15. But I always suggest coming a few minutes after we start, because we literally do get 15, 20 messages within the first 1 to 2 minutes. And we just obviously can't read 20 people that quickly. But if you come a few minutes later after we start, or 15 minutes or a half hour, you're assured of getting a message then. It's not so overwhelming. Yeah, Stacy, you're just trying to figure out what's true from the mind's perspective. Go back to your centering practice. What is your centering practice? What brings you back home, if you will? What brings you back home? Oh, hey, Rachel. I'll try and pull a card for Rachel. Let's see what I got for Rachel. Okay. For Rachel. We're getting the friendship card. When I'm pulling this, it's about being your own best friend. Because today is all about perfect spirit. So when I'm from place of spirit, it's always been being your own best friend. No judgment, no criticism, no condemning yourself, no beating yourself up. Really letting all of that go. And what I'm getting for you, Rachel, will be good, is mirror work. Maybe do some Louise Hay work. Can you look at yourself in the mirror and love yourself unconditionally? Not criticizing your hair, not criticizing your clothes, not criticizing your appearance, but look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. Can you do that? Nature and singing always brings me back home. Yes, you want to be very intentional in our actions. The mind's very reactive and not intentional. acting from spirit is very intentional, very direct, because you know the path that you need to follow. Yeah, Rachel, I was getting for you, Louise Hay mirror work would be very helpful to you. And it's going to be painful. But we need to let go of those critical emotions because you're meant to be free, not trapped into your emotions that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy. So that's a lot of pain releasing that stuff. But it's not really pain, though. It's releasing that stuck energy, the stuck beliefs. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions or comments here. So, oh, Aaron just arrived, so I'll pull a card for Aaron. Yeah, Heal Your Life by Louise Hay will be good for you. Yes, for Aaron, I'm just pulling single cards today. So this is coming from Perfect Spirit. Aaron, okay. All right, Aaron, let's take a look. Just tuned into Aaron here. All right, Rachel, take good care of yourself. You're getting the protection card. Spirit is simply reminding you that it's safe to trust your own insights. Where you get yourself into trouble when you believe the mental stories, you're acting from the place of the mind. It seems to get you in trouble, get you into a place of regret, shame. It's all this nonsense. They're just reminding you it's safe to trust yourself. It's safe to act from your own knowing, your own insights. All right, I've gone a little bit longer today, but I'm live every Sunday at noon to do this. But I hope everyone will go back and watch the replay and even see the beginning of this. The little talk was very good today, that there are no mistakes. And asking yourself that big question, are you afraid to be you? And why my video cut out yesterday, the sound, because I wasn't meant to answer that question for you. I've done 700 videos, never lost the audio. So when I'm losing the audio, it's saying it's not for me to tell them, it's for them to discover. All right, well, I'm going to head off now. I send everyone lots of love, lots of peace from Perfect Spirit, wrapping you in this divine love, allowing this grace to come through, to fill you with insights, wisdom for your best way forward. Take good care of yourself. Lots of love, lots of peace. Until tomorrow, and then I will be back, next Sunday. Then on the 4th, I'll be sharing my healing circle, and I'll create that event on Facebook. All right. Bye for now.